How does it feel when you walk into San Diego and you see this $18 million installation that has been created for your show? Do you feel a sense of pride or pressure?
I feel a sense of awesomeness. I mean, it's the greatest thing ever. We've been working on Jack Ryan for over 3 years, and we've been in our own little bubble just making the show. And so for it to now finally be, being put out there to the world, for people, people are finally starting to become aware of the show. That's really exciting. It's
inspired by Tom Clancy's novel, not a direct adaptation, correct?
That's right.
Can you just explain, what does that mean exactly?
One of the things that Tom Clancy was great at was writing political thrillers of his time. And we started out, when we first started to do this project, we tried to adapt a book and it just didn't feel relevant anymore. And so Carlton and I had to come up with our own geopolitical thriller of the moment, but taking the DNA and the characters that Clancy created and the spirit of what made his books great and his movies great, but we had to tell our own original story.
How did John Krasinski come into it? Because I remember when I first heard his casting, it was just like, oh, that's not the first person I would think of as action hero.
It was actually, he had just done 13 Hours, and we actually were already at the point, we had the show greenlit. We had really constructed the first 4 hours of the show, and we just were going through names, and Krasinski was someone, Jack Ryan is a really hard character to embody. You have to be an action hero, you have to be super smart, and we also wanted a character who was charming, because that was the way we'd written the character. And John had done 13 Hours, so we saw that he was a very capable action guy, and it felt like, oh, here's the perfect thing. Our story is about an analyst who goes from working in a cubicle in an office to his first field assignment. The audience will be right on that journey. They expect to see John Krasinski in an office cubicle, and they'll go on that ride with him as he goes from being in that cubicle to being in Yemen, and having people shoot at him. And that seemed really exciting to us. We sent the material to Krasinski. He loved it. He said, I'm in. Like, we went to one actor. It was really great.
When something like The Quiet Place explodes the way it did before the show premieres, how does that make you feel? And it's like, because obviously that's only going to help the show.
It feels great. I mean, like you said, it's only going to help his success, his, fame, or what, it's only going to help our show. And obviously we know John and we like John, and so we're happy for him. But yeah, we didn't anticipate it. Jack Ryan, I mean, that's how long Jack Ryan has taken to make, is that we shot the entire first season, and then he went and prepped and shot and released A Quiet Place. So we didn't anticipate him even having a movie, but it's just such a great, fortuitous thing.
Yeah, he did the entire movie of A Quiet Place after we finished filming Jack Ryan.
Oh my God.
And then it came out already. It was just like, it happened so fast.
And now it's like on demand at the hotel, and our show still hasn't premiered.
And the show has already been renewed for a second season before the first season even premiered. It's a rare thing, I think, in the TV business. How did that happen?
When we turned the show into Amazon, they really loved it. And I think up to the very highest levels of the company. And it was really exciting. They, just based on here's a company, it's a tech company, and it wasn't really a question of metrics. They hadn't released the show. They just personally loved it, and they got behind it, and they said, we want to get going on season 2, because we don't want there to be a huge gap between season 1 and season 2. So we will have shot 2 months of season 2 before season 1 ever drops.
So you're already shooting season 2 now?
Yeah, we are. We're filming today in Bogota, Colombia.
Wow.
We're not filming today.
We've got to
Clearly, yeah.
we gotta fly.
The show looks expensive. It looks like a feature film. Could you have done this on anywhere else besides like an Amazon or a Netflix? Because I mean, or maybe an HBO.
No, I mean, like you said, there's 2 or 3 places that could have done this show. And when we went out with it and we pitched it, we had other offers from other networks. But Amazon was willing to put the resources behind it, and also willing to give us the time. And if we were, for instance, on a broadcast network, we would have had to hit a premiere date, and we would have just not been able to get the resources. We would have had a certain amount of time to film the episodes and to write the episodes. And with Amazon, they wanted it to be good, so they gave us the time to get the scripts in order. They gave us the time to prep it, and then they gave us the time to make it and shoot it. And then most importantly, they gave us the resources. to go to 4 different countries and 3 different continents to make this, recognizing that, you know, if it's going to be Tom Clancy, it has to be a big blockbuster.
Carlton, you just signed this big deal with ABC 6 months ago, or maybe a year ago now. Can you talk about what the first project is, or what you're working on with them?
You know, the good news is that I've got a bunch of really cool stuff in development. I mean, nothing is at the point yet where I can tell you what I'm going to be doing first under the deal, but I've got some really exciting things in the works, and I'm really excited about the new Disney streaming service, and I'm developing some projects for that, and I think that's going to be a really big thing.
Has the word Lost come up with anyone at ABC? I mean,
no, actually it hasn't.
That's shocking to me.
You know, I think that they all understand and respect the decision that Damon and I made, that, you know, we don't have any desire to reboot the show or do a sequel or anything like that. So they haven't really brought it up. I mean, as we have both said before, I expect at some point, you know, Walt Disney Company, someone will come along with an idea to do some other characters on the island in the world of Lost, and we're fine with that. I mean, we told our story, and I think, you know, I wish a lot of the current TV reboots had never happened. They haven't really been, in my view, great extensions of the show, and I don't see any reason to put Lost on that list.